Okay, so I got a request in email form earlier today, and one of my lovely subscribers, I'm going to tag her so that she knows that this reading is up. She was telling me that Megan has a current court date coming up. I want to say the same week or possibly the same day as Tory in August, like the first week of August, with 1501. And she wanted me to tap into the energy and see what's to expect with this case with Megan in 1501. Now, anybody who's been following this, y'all know that this has been a long, drag out, drawn out case between her and Carl Crawford. And it's just been a lot of back and forth for at least this is going on 4 years now? I want to say at least headed towards 4 years now. So I thought that, it would be interesting to oblige her request and look into what's to be expected between Megan Thee Stallion and 1501 Records. So let me go ahead and smudge so I can clear the energy. And let's tap into what's going on between Megan and Carl Crawford. Because if this is true that this is happening the same week as Tory is looking for getting his new trial, it's very interesting how the media is being very, very hush-hush. Because, before he got that verdict, everything was all over the news every 5 seconds. And now TMZ, they playing real funny how they blind to what's happening now. They're not reporting on anything. Everybody's pretty much, getting quiet. And it's not even about choosing a side anymore. It's like they're trying to eclipse what happened so that nobody gets to really asking any questions. And I find that weird because this case was so sensational in a covert way. Never seen a case be reported by social media versus more so the Associated Press. And even with the Associated Press, they were very selective on who in the Associated Press reported on it. So, yeah. Thank you for the suggestion, because we're going to get into some things. We're going to see exactly what's to expect between her and this record label. Is she going to have to pay this record label out? Well, no matter how it goes, she's going to have to pay a lot to lawyers, because this girl has had a lot of lawyers in the last few years. I'm going to start off with 1501 side of it. Carl Crawford. Angels, ancestors, and spirit guides, tap me into the energy around Carl Crawford's side of this court case. Alrighty, Carl Crawford. What's to come out of this court case on your behalf? So, off the bat, he's saying that there's a lot of secrets and hidden knowledge about the collaboration, the agreement, the contract. and about monies that's either coming in slow or haven't been paid yet. And he's saying that this is the truth. Ten of Pentacles. Now notice, you know, this is a man who's holding on to a jar. And he's like, okay, I got this one coin here, but all of these coins are in here. So this is leading me to believe that he's saying that she has unpaid debts. She's stashing money. She hasn't paid her part or hasn't paid into the portion that she was allotted to pay into. And with the sun, happier times are going to come through illumination. What is this hiding up under the deck? Oh yeah, it's going to bring it into a cycle, because something is going to come out that's going to, you know, remove these blindfolds, and she's going to be cut off from something. Interesting enough. Tell me more. Oh, this is like unearned income. Something's going to, you know, tip the scale. Something's going to set things into balance on his end. This is like lottery winnings, winning a judgment. Now, I don't even have my cards in reverse in my deck, but I'm going to acknowledge this. This is justice in reverse. Now, Temperance, which is balanced through a new beginning, justice in reverse. Angels, be very specific. What is this that's going to have justice in reverse? There's going to be a hangman that's going to bring justice, that's going to bring, you know, some scissors to this agreement or contract, because there's secrets that have not been released to the public about this judgment or judgments prior. And it's going to be a hangman when this truth comes out. Temperance angel. This truth is going to bring balance through a new beginning. This is everything I just said. The sun illuminates whatever this is. Strength. Strength is like Leo season. So early August would be Leo season. Up until like August the 23rd. It's going to bring it into a cycle. Something about not being able to bring things into fruition. Something not paying off, something not being fruitful, somebody not, I feel like not fulfilling something in their contract. And once again, I don't usually have cards in reverse in my deck, but I'm going to acknowledge that. Literally fighting over money not coming in swiftly, okay? This is going to really, really put somebody on blast when they see how this money goes, how people get paid, and why somebody is not getting paid. This is finally severing ties. You know, leaving behind a tumultuous situation, finally going off into calmer waters, going off into things that are more peaceful. After this court ruling, because here it is, the Hierophant, judge, jury, adjudicator, even God himself. There's going to be a judgment here. Like a financial judgment. I don't know if Megan owes him money, or if Megan's trying to say he owes her money. Somebody is about to pay somebody a very sizable judgment. This is like 6-7 figure judgment. The Hermit and the Queen of Wands. Now, anytime I do a reading with Megan, yes, I know she's not a fire sign, but the Queen of Wands represents the hot girl. So this is looking like eventually she's going to be able to separate and go off to herself as the Hermit, but this is not going to go the way that she expects. It's not going to go the way she wants. It's going to be bittersweet in some type of way. Will she manifest it? Because like I said, the Lovers is also a contract, an agreement coming to an end. So it is coming to an end. Okay, so you got the Truth here, the Ace of Wands, Temperance, balance through a new beginning after someone comes forward to talk. Somebody comes forward with a message. And whatever this message is, it's going to bring illumination to this situation during Leo season. Yeah, the Emperor. So, Emperor is a head of state, like the father figure, the boss. It's going to bring... Wait a minute. He's bald, just like Carl. Hey, Carl. Yeah, it's going to bring illumination to Carl in Leo season. Whatever they go to court for in August, a huge light is going to be shined on some things in this contract that I don't know if it was like a gag order or something where things couldn't be talked about in the past, or excuse me, something is trying to affect my throat chakra. It's like something either wasn't allowed to be discussed in the past, or something wasn't allowed to be used or considered how do I say this? Admissible as evidence. There's a light that's going to be shined on this. Because it's going to bring an end to a cycle with these slow payments and all this fighting. Because this has been toxic, this has been hard, it's been tumultuous, and it's been obsessive. But this is moving forward towards victory. Hold on. I didn't even mean for those to come out. So, I said there was something that was going to happen with the judgment. This is going to come to an end. So, this is going to affect a large portion of somebody's money. And this is falling under the Hierophant, which is court, and the Six of Pentacles. And this is the only way that this person is going to be able to move forward and be fruitful. So this is looking like Megan may have to possibly buy her way out of this, pay a judgment to be free. And it's going to be a large judgment. She will be able to move forward, but at a cost. So it could be like a settlement to close out her contract to meet the end of her agreement, because I don't know if she was supposed to sell a certain amount or pay a certain amount to the record label for what was sold, or things that were accumulated. She's gonna have to, you know, pretty much peel them Benjis off the top, because this is feeling like there's something that she owes that hasn't been paid yet, and she was contracted to do so. And she just, I don't know if she hasn't got around to it, or she just felt like she didn't have to do it, or she was going to drag it out as long as she could. But even with that, that's not a good look, because you don't want somebody to get late fees and punitive damages. But this is how she's going to be able to go on and be fruitful. Because remember, this was in the deck in reverse. She was unable to flourish and do what she needed to do while this is going on. So for her to move on and flourish, she's going to have to meet whatever the last of this negotiation is for this contract. Yeah, forward movement and expansion for Carl. Two of Coins, juggling with this Wheel of Fortune to keep the stability, but this is going to reach forward movement and expansion. And I feel like he knew something due to a certain collaboration, somebody that was working with him, somebody who kind of like pulled him by the coattail. This is like somebody could have possibly got at him during the Cancer month, like, you know, June going into July, and they counseled him on something. And I'm not saying it has to be like a sit down with a lawyer, but it's like, you know, like OG the little homie, or just in general. It's something that he's entitled to. And for the most part, he's been very quiet about whatever this is that he's entitled to, which he did a lot of speaking in the beginning. And he's just been keeping everything under his hat so far. He's been quiet, but there is something that he's entitled to for sure. What cards am I about to use for Megan? Look, bottom of the deck, air sign. She is an air sign. She's an Aquarius, Queen of Swords, air sign. So, Miss Megan, Pete, let's speak your piece. What is to be expected with Megan Pete, better known as Meg Thee Stallion? Okay, so she's very deep and heavy in her feelings about this, even though she's not saying anything. She's trying to keep things under wraps. This is bothering her. She's considering her options, because there are some things that we, the public, aren't privy to. The moon has multiple phases, multiple sides. So anytime there's a moon, there is definitely a hidden truth. Ten of Pentacles. I told y'all this is going to affect her money in a big way. To end this cycle, to close out this cycle, is going to affect her money. And she has heavy anxiety about this, because this ain't no little bit of change. Even with the lawyer's fees, this is affecting her bottom line big time. The Hermit. The Hermit is someone who literally has to go off to himself to reflect, to come back out enlightened. So she has to look at the bigger picture, and she has to get everybody out of her ear. People that she talks to, people that she listens to. She has to be very careful about who she communicates with right now. And right now it's really just not a good look for her to communicate with much of anybody about what's going on, because something attached to this is a huge unrequited offer. 4 of Cups. See, you've got this 1 cup up here. That was the silver lining. And then you got down here, you know, the people you was having good times with, collaborating with. And now the bigger picture is, this ain't working out the way that I wanted it to. This is not working out the way that I saw it. So we got 6 of Wands. Forward movement towards victory from this collaboration. And she's considering her options for, you know, getting to this large pinnacle. But she still has to handle her business with this collaboration to get to this pinnacle. And this is one of those, it takes money to make money. So if you have to pay your way out of this, go ahead and drop that bag so that you can get to the next bags. Because the longer you wait, the longer you tie this up, the more they can get in incurred interest, punitive damages, and whatever else is attached to this. You know, just snatch that Band-Aid off and heal. Yeah, 4 of Cups, 7 of Wands, 5 of Cups. So look at this. Okay. Unrequited offer, standing up, being defensive, and now in deep, heavy regret. So you didn't want to have to honor this agreement. You stood 10 toes down on being defensive, but now you're in deep, heavy regret because she's realizing she has to honor this, this contract. There's no way out of it. This is her coming out in the flesh right here, the star. Star is Aquarius. And that Aquarius is literally falling right under this 9 of Swords. No rest for the weary, no rest for the wicked. She is going through a lot of anxiety. This is affecting her sleep because this is like the walls are coming in. This is like feeling claustrophobic and I can't breathe. Everything is just literally getting closer and closer and closer day by day. The walls are coming in. This is juggling with, you know, opportunities and things that you've been, you know, trying to figure out, how are you going to handle this? What are you going to do? And a lot of this is coming to now after separating yourself from people and starting to think, you know, what really is your wish fulfillment. You know, she wants to be able to extend her brand for other opportunities, other ships that's coming in, but she has to handle this contract negotiation and agreement first. And see, you were trying to do this the back doorway. You were trying to be sneaky about this, but you got your ass handed to you in this situation because business is still business. And now you got judgment being called on your wish fulfillment, which means the court is going to make you honor whatever is left of this contract. And, you know, she's feisty about it. You know, she's like, you know, she's stating her case. She's feeling why, you know, she's letting them know why she feels she doesn't have to do this. She doesn't have to do that. but it's coming off underhanded. So now it's like, okay, well, let me try to sow some seeds for a bigger harvest, because now I have to think about my future and other ventures. And this feels like, you know, you are very, you know, for what it was worth, you were very, very outspoken. You were sending a lot of messages. This is also things that were said via social media and back and forth between, you know, lawyers and people, you know. This was a lot of harsh communication about the new actions you were going to take. Page of Wands. This is a lot of excessive talking and communication, and it didn't do too well for Megan. Four of Pentacles. Yeah, being stubborn. And it's like, now you've got to really think about, you know, the future of your finances and your career and, you know, generational wealth that you're trying to build. And see, very headstrong, like, I'm gonna do what I want to do, I'm gonna take action, but you went about it the wrong way. You were toxic about how you went about it. So now it's like being deep and heavy in your emotions, outwardly speaking about this collaboration, this union you were in, because this is not always business, but this union you were in. And being secretive and having secret knowledge when you walked away from this communication, from this relationship. So this is feeling like, you know, say for instance, you break up with somebody, right? Now in your mind, you knew y'all done broke up, but you haven't told the person yet. And you wait for them to go off and go to work. And you clear out the whole apartment. And when they get home, they like, I'll be damned. I didn't even know that we wasn't together no more. Like, how do you break up with somebody like this? This is how she walked out of this business situation. Just picked up and left one day, took everything, and didn't leave a Dear John, an IOU. Just, it was good while it lasted, bye boo. And you left the other person with an empty apartment and a lease that they had to pay whether you still stayed there or not. Yep, Wheel of Fortune and the Emperor. Like I said, you left somebody to pay a lease whether you were there or not. He still had to find a way to manage what was supposed to turn into a fortune. Nine of Pentacles, independent woman. Walks away from this relationship expediently, forward movement and expansion. And look at this. You were inspired by somebody to walk away from this relationship. Now, I doubt if this comes out in court the way you were inspired. But that's definitely somebody using what they got to get what they want to get you to go somewhere. Emperor and the King of Swords. So, you know, in this situation, Carl will be the Emperor because he's the head of the business. King of Swords is a sharp thinking businessman. And then here it is, the independent woman with the temperance angel. Out of nowhere, you got balance through a new beginning after you left. Two of Cups. It's starting to feel like a lot of Megan's issues are connected to interpersonal relationships with men that she doesn't like to say that she's attached to, allegedly. And that was the inspiration for this Ten of Swords, stabbing Carl in the back. I don't think Carl would have had a problem with you leaving. I think the problem was how you left. Queen of Pentacles and Strength. So this is Megan, you know, trying to hold on to her status, trying to, you know, hold it together. Because something's happening. It's like she's making money, but the money feels like it's moving a lot slower than it should, or it's trickling in so many different directions that by the time it gets to her, she has to wonder, is it worth it? Look at that. Ultimate betrayal attached to work. Is that past or is that current? The Fool. That's past because you took a leap of faith. The Sun and the Ten of Wands. You took a leap of faith to go into what you thought was happier times, but there ended up being the world. You know, you had the weight of the world on your shoulders after what was supposed to be the happier times. This didn't pan out the way she thought it would. Work ended up becoming tumultuous, the Wounded Warrior. It's like this ended up feeling like being whooped over and over and over and over again. Like every time I try, I just keep running into a brick wall. Because I'm stuck and bound in this situation due to things that were illuminated by the King of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles. So she feel like he being petty because he wants her to say sorry. And that's the only reason why he's doing this, because he's trying to humble her. But she's not understanding that business is business. And when we're working, we get paid. So you got to pay the cost of business. Nothing more, nothing less. Like I said, she's... Wow, the Empress, the Eight of Wands, and the Moon. Now, don't this Empress, in a roundabout way, somewhat favor Beyonce? So it's like you were trying to hurry up and get over there under Beyonce's tutelage, but there was a lot of secrets attached to the situation, and it caused you, once again, to be this wounded warrior. Nine of Wands. She signed up for something that she didn't expect to be a part of. King of Pentacles, the Hierophant, Six of Cups. So it's like King of Pentacles. This person here, this well-to-do person, keeps coming after you with the law from the past. And this is where she's looking at Carl like, why won't you just let this go? Why won't you just let the past be the past? Why won't you just go away, right? You got money, so what you need my money for, right? She just wanted to move on and be fruitful. But this situation has been so tumultuous, 10 of Wands, that now she really is considering apologizing, because it's starting to dawn on you why this is working out the way that it's working out. And she just wants to move on, but there's a hangman here to her moving on. And, you know, she's got to shake this loose, get all this dead weight out of her life, because it's slowing her money down and how she manifests. Told you. Hangman. All this fighting, all this back and forth in court, it's taken away from how she manifests. So I'm not going to go no further with this, but I feel like for Megan to move forward, she's got to pay the cost to be the boss. She's got to pay the toll to go across and to get to the next phase of her career. Sooner she does that, the sooner she can move on, the sooner this will be over, and she won't have to say 1501 attached to anything with her name. And I mean, honestly, you really can't be mad at Carl for just, you know, saying, hey, this is business. I invested in you. I just want my piece of the investment back. I don't want the whole pie. I just want the slices that I was supposed to have. So thank you for suggesting this, and I'm gonna wrap this up here, and that's that, y'all. That's my reading on the court date coming up in August between Megan Pete, better known as Megan Thee Stallion, or Meg Thee Stallion, and 1501 and Carl Crawford. This reading is adjourned.